Hey guys, it's Ann and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with another Create This Book episode. So today I'm going to be doing the Create a Music Inspired page. So what I immediately thought of was the Beatles. Now, I used to be a huge Beatles fan, so I thought that this would be really fun because a lot of their songs have things you could easily draw. Now, I know the idea for this was kind of to listen to music and get inspired by it, but this was my take on it. So what I first did is I looked up a bunch of Beatles songs, and you can see me do that here, and I just went through and read the names, and I know the Beatles well, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't forgetting any songs. So I just started off by writing down some of the songs I thought that were good ideas. So what I'm also doing with this video is I'm gonna do a second video and show you exactly how I drew this yellow submarine. So I will link that in the iCard thingy, and I will also link it in the description so you can see me completely draw out this yellow submarine, and I'll color it in the video for you to see because that took kind of a while. And I copied it exactly how they did it in the movie. And yeah, so then here I'm showing you all the parts that I drew. I added Abbey Road, Penny Lane, and then I drew the streets as little crosswalks. I got my strawberry fields down there. I put a little Maxwell's silver hammer, and then I got my octopus's garden. There's diamonds in the sky for Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and there's a little blackbird. So first I'm going to start with my octopus's garden. I'm using Prismacolor colored pencils for the whole page. First, I'm going to start off by drawing the little starfish. I drew that with carmine red mostly and a little bit of sunburst yellow, and I drew some little textures on it with crimson lake. I then am coloring in the little seaweed thingies. I colored in the dark part with dark green, the one side with grass green, and the other side apple green. Then I'm coloring in these little stones. I'm using 70% warm gray, and for some of the stones, I used dark purple for some of the other stones and some sienna brown. Then I'm going to color my little octopus. So I drew some little lines where I wanted the tentacles to be with Copenhagen blue. I colored the main part of it with true blue. And then what I did is I took cloud blue on top of that and kind of blended the color together to make it look more seamless Then I took Copenhagen blue, colored in the bottom part of the tentacles, and put a little bit of cloud blue on top of it. Then I am taking sand for the sand, and I'm just doing a very light layer of it all over the sand area. Then I'm gonna take sienna brown and add some little dots. And then I'm going to still take sienna brown and add some shadows into the sand. I added it just in some place where I wanted some texture and right under the seaweed. I'm then using goldenrod to mix it together a little bit. And then I'm going to take yellow ochre and do some shading under the octopus. And then I'm going to go back and forth with the brown a little bit. And then I'm taking sand again, and I'm going to go over all of that whole sand area, but pressing a little heavier with my pencil. Then I was done with my little octopus's garden. I originally was going to color in the whole area blue, and then I just thought it'd be too much blue and I'd be wasting a lot of area. So I took cloud blue, drew a little line where the ocean would be, and then some little bubbles with true blue. And that was the whole half of the page. Now for the other side. On the other page, I started off by doing the little signs. Now, most of the time I see these kind of street signs in green, so I decided to get the perfect color that I was envisioning to mix true green and parrot green. So I just went over first with true green, and then I used parrot green on top of it just to kind of mix it together. After I was doing this, I realized that kind of the letters got a little mixed up, so I took my white gel pen and I just went over the letters. Then I colored the poles in with silver. And there you can see how shiny it is. And then I colored in my little blackbird. Okay, so next I worked on the roads. So I took canary yellow and just drew 2 stripes down every street as the street divider part, whatever you call that, I don't know. And then I just took black and drew a line in between that, and then I just colored all over the road in black. It was a little difficult to not color over the yellow. So after I colored in the roads, I colored in the grass. Now the grass I didn't press too hard because I wanted it to look a little bit textured like it actually was grass. So this, I had the color grass green, so that's the color I used for the grass. So the hill looks a little bit strange, but I definitely wanted to do the fool on the hill, so I drew it, and I don't know about it. And then I thought the fool on the hill looked a little bit weird, but he's also the Nowhere Man, so kind of combine that, because in the Yellow Submarine movie, the Nowhere Man is in it, and he looks like a little brown blob, so I kind of wanted to draw it like that. So then after that, I colored in Maxwell's silver hammer. I used silver for the silver hammer, and I colored in the handle of it with sienna brown. And then I wrote out Strawberry Fields in Crimson Lake, I think it was. Then I colored it brown. To color it in brown, I used sienna brown and dark brown, and I kind of mixed those together. Then I colored the diamonds in the sky. I used cloud blue for that. I outlined the part that I had drawn with silver. Then I colored the little fool on the hill. I used a dark brown for his legs and his arms and his head, and then sienna brown for his body. And then I did the sun. I used sunburst yellow for the circle part. Then I used lemon yellow and on the outside, and kind of blended it together and just kind of went back and forth between the two colors. I then took white and blended it with the page a little bit, and then took cream and tried to smooth it all out and smooth it together so it blended in all blendy like. Then I started to work on the strawberry fields. So the first thing I did was erase the lines a little bit so I could see them just barely, And then I started with my brown. I started with sienna brown and just colored it in quickly so I knew which parts were going to be brown and which parts were going to be the strawberry part. And I just colored in with sienna brown, did like a very light layer of it. And then what I did after that is I went over it with dark brown to mix it together to get a slightly lighter than dark brown color, an in-between type of color deal. And I even go back to this after I drew the strawberry bushes. So now I'm getting started on the strawberry bushes. So I took Crimson Lake and Crimson Red, and I just did 2 different strawberries of both of those colors. And so I just went over, drew some little triangle-ish shapes for bigger strawberries, and then just drew some red dots all over it. I connected it with a vine with olive green, and then I drew the little leaves with a dark green. And then I took my grass green and drew some kind of scribbly circles to make it look like leaves and like a bush. I wanted it to look like a strawberry bush, like as much as possible. But the whole idea for this whole page was to make it very Beatles-esque, very Yellow Submarine movie type of drawing, and it was very different than probably something else I would have drawn. So I just went back and forth with a bunch of different greens and mixed them all together, and that's how I ended up with this. So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel and let me know what Create This Book page I should do next. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye!